Let me quickly cut across Sreedharan speaking there from Kerala.
അത് ഒരു മിസ്അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡിംഗ് ആണ്. കാരണം പോസ്റ്റൽ വോട്ടിംഗ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള എഴുതി കൊടുത്തു. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ പാലക്കാട്ടായിരിക്കുമല്ലോ എൻ്റെ സ്ഥാനാർത്ഥിയല്ലേ, അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ എത്തുന്നത് തീർച്ചയില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് അവരോട് തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു സമയമില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് നിർബന്ധമില്ല പോസ്റ്റൽ വോട്ടിങ്ങിന്, ഞാൻ വന്ന് വോട്ട് ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു.
ആദ്യ വോട്ടിന്റെ ഓർമ്മ ഒന്ന് പങ്കുവെക്കാവോ?
ഇതെന്റെ ആദ്യത്തെ വോട്ടല്ല.
Metroman, who's now come out to cast his vote, he explains to the media personnel there that postal ballot is currently not an option. He wants to come out, personally cast his vote. Sreedharan, remember, is now a BJP man, in fact almost projected as a chief ministerial face for the BJP in Kerala. The man has now come out to cast his vote.
അത് കണ്ടു പറയണം. എന്നാലും ബി ജെ പിക്ക് നല്ലൊരു മുന്നേറ്റം ഉണ്ടാവും, സംശയമൊന്നുമില്ല.
Confidently that BJP will have a good, in fact BJP will make inroads into the state of Kerala. They will have a good fight is what Sreedharan says. Cutting across to Gopi Unitha joining us right there from Thiruvananthapuram. Gopi, Sreedharan, the Metroman, now BJP man, come out to cast his vote, says very confidently that BJP will win big in Kerala.
Well, of course, Nabila, he has certainly been one of the key focuses of this election, and he is actually staying. His home is in Malappuram district of Kerala, which is quite far from Palakkad. So in the morning he was in Malappuram, and he will cast his vote and then return to Palakkad is what we are assuming. And after that, while speaking to the media personals, he sounded very, very confident that BJP would win, and he himself will also win from the Palakkad after a very tight contest. Now, talking about the ground situation, we are in Thiruvananthapuram, the state capital. Now, what you see behind me is the general trend of every election in Kerala. Right from the morning, you would have people lining up outside the booths, outside the polling stations. Even if it's early in the morning, people would just try and ensure that they cast their vote at their very earliest, as early as they can. So that is exactly why we see this gathering of people. But unfortunately, it's important to note that there is hardly any social distancing that is being maintained. But on the other side, on the flip side, we can also see that at least 80 to 90% of the people are wearing their mask, and they're wearing that properly. Now that could actually be a small relief, but nevertheless, because of the space constraints, there is very little social distancing that's being maintained. But nevertheless, the people have started coming in huge numbers, if you can say, right from the morning, because there are around 3 booths in this school that I'm standing right now, and there must be at least some 150 to 200 people who have come here right in the morning. Now, the polling has just begun across Kerala, just like other states which are going to polls, and we usually see a very surge of people right in the morning, and there would be large turnout of voters in the morning. Then around the midday, around 11 to 2:30, the voting pace would go down a bit, and again in the evening, the final set of people who are to vote, they will come and vote. So that is a trend that we usually see, and maybe I can just ask my camera person to show you inside the polling station. And remember, this is the second election in Kerala during the COVID-19 pandemic. The first election was in last year December, when the state was going into local body elections, and all these preparations and COVID-19 protocols were in place during that election also. So certainly it's a huge challenge for the state administration and the election department.
In fact, the last local body polls, Gopi, we saw some robots there handing over